nothing like my mother. Well, we are both high anxiety. My PTSD can be as crippling as mommy's extreme social anxiety and fear of everything. The difference is, I don't take pills. Therapy keeps me from diving into the abyss of believing that I'm worthless, or that maybe I could be fired from my job as an editor because I misplaced a comma. Mommy grew up in rural Puerto Rico in the 1940s. Her therapeutic options were either to pray a lot of Hail Marys or to drink special teas prepared by the local curandera. Professional help was not an option when she moved to New York City either. Housewives in public housing didn't do talk therapy. There wasn't money for any extras besides rent or groceries, unless Papi hit the number. And his job at the taxi garage provided really shitty medical insurance that had no prescription plan. But Mommy always got her meds from her pill-pushing oldest sister, Mona, whose purse was like a pharmacy. I don't know what she gave Mommy, and Mommy only cared that the pills made the sharp edges of the world disappear. And Mommy disappeared from my world when I needed her. My mother took a pill before the major events of my life. On my wedding day, Mommy's eyes were pretty unfocused as she watched me do my own hair and makeup while Mona had to do hers. I walked down the aisle holding Papi's arm on my left side, and I held Mommy's hand in my right, and she was as floaty as a helium balloon. I confront the sharp edges of the world. No pills. I didn't take anything, even to get through the most major event of my life. A stillbirth at 9 months after 5 years of trying to get pregnant. When my parents arrived to the hospital, my mother floated into the hospital room where I sat in my own blood on my bed. I reached out and I said, "Mommy." She took one look at me and passed out. Papi whispered to me, "Mommy took more than one pill before we came." "I know," I said. "Why didn't she bring one for me?" Not that I would have taken it. After I left the hospital, I was afraid of everything. My baby died in my body, and I was convinced that the police were going to arrest me for murder. I didn't sleep for weeks, but I would not take the Xanax that my doctor prescribed because that was something Mommy would do. And what did she ever have to be so afraid of? She grew up poor in a world where fathers dropped dead suddenly from asthma attacks while working in the fields. As a young woman, she arrived to the Bronx alone with only the address of an aunt she did not know, and the English words for the days of the week and farm animals. In middle age, she had to confront my father's infidelities at a time when she had no job and nothing to return to in Puerto Rico. When I lost my baby boy, my fear was so complete, I believed it would kill me. And I understood Mommy's fear of her world that was often only sharp edges. Yet, she, who as a little girl peed herself the first time she ever saw a plane fly overhead as she stood in a tobacco field. She worked and saved for that first plane ticket to New York City. She confronted my father when women in the family said to her, "Pero así son los hombres," and asked her what she would do without a man. She took jobs where she took shit, sometimes cleaned shit, so that I could have more choices than she ever did. That morning at the hospital, Mommy did not arrive in the condition that I wanted her to. But there was never a question whether she would show up. And how different are her pills from the sugar I eat and the miles I run to numb myself. 15 years ago, I was with Mommy when she received the diagnosis of dementia. She understood what lay ahead from her years of working as a home health aide, caring for patients with dementia. Her doctor prescribed pills that could slow progression of the disease. She said no. And she said no to me every time I pleaded she had to take the pills. I never thought that she chose to step into the unknown despite her fear. Last May, I received Mommy's diagnosis of advanced colorectal cancer. And because she had made her wishes clear while she was still lucid, I knew she wanted to die in peace, which she did. As I stroked her hair and I held her hand. I'm a writer. Stories are my thing. But I will never know the full story of why Mommy was so anxious and afraid of everything. I do know that she was a woman, like me, just trying her best to get through life. When I was sorting through and cleaning out Mommy's things after she died, I found a bottle of Xanax. I keep it in a drawer next to my bottle of really old Xanax. I spent my life afraid of becoming like my mother. Now I see that in many ways, I should be so lucky